Welcome back to Open Scrolls. Today, we unroll a story that tastes like unleavened bread and smells of road dust. The pillar of cloud and fire and the crossing of the sea. God does not only snap chains, He takes the lead. He does not merely demand freedom, He teaches a people how to walk. And when yesterday's power thunders behind them with golden wheels and battle shouts, He lifts a wall between what was and what will be and hews a path through water for people who do not yet know how to sing, but soon will. Passover night sits behind them, yet its flavor lingers. Flat bread between the teeth, belts still tight, tired feet still unsure what has just happened. The Hebrew homes woke to charred wool and marked wood. Now the people move as a caravan. It isn't a trained army. It's families. Elders with shortened stride, mothers with children on hip. Teens who look at the horizon for the first time without foremen. A single question drips into every conversation, simple and enormous. What now? God answers with a sign that moves. By day, a pillar of cloud, not a random cloud, but a presence that sets direction. By night, a pillar of fire, not to frighten, but to illumine. The sign is not an ornament. It marks when to halt and when to rise. The people learn to look upward to decide the next step. The ground may burn the souls and morale may wobble, but the sky speaks. And the sky that guides them isn't a map. It is someone. There is a shorter road along the coasts, a road of the Philistines. It is logical, quick, straight, and not God's road. The Lord steers them along a path that seems less convenient and more suitable for tender hearts. Because newborn freedom startles easily at the first thunder and might try to run back. God knows not only where to take them, but how to take them so they arrive without breaking. This is the promise of our episode. We will watch a God who leads, protects, and opens the impossible. And a people who, somewhere between fear and obedience, learn to walk where there is no road. The pillar turns, and the order surprises those who love straight routes, turn back and camp by the sea. Pi Hiroth, Migdal Baal-Zephon, names that mean little to most, but to those dragging carts they sound like a dead end. Desert on the left, desert on the right, water in front. Family heads look at one another in silence. Young men count the skins of water. Someone asks, without wanting to offend, wasn't there another plane to pitch our tents? What the people cannot see, God whispers to His servant. Pharaoh will say, they are hemmed in. The wilderness has shut them in. But God wants him to think so. Not because Israel is a toy, but because pride needs to arrive at its own precipice before it stops pretending to rule everything. God will honor Himself in the face of arrogance that called His children slaves. In Egypt, mourning flips into calculation with a speed that chills. Pharaoh studies palace accounts, hands no longer kneading bricks. The great machine of labor, coughing. What have we done? He asks, as if he were not the one who hardened the lash. Chariots are mustered, 600 choice ones, and all the rest. Gleaming horses, wheels oiled, warriors laughing at dust. The past arms itself. And when the past arms itself, it always charges forward. The rumor reaches Israel's camp like a far-off roar. Children hear it first, a tremor in the ground. Then the men name it. Wheels, many hooves, voices. In the first row, Moses stares at the sea. He has no boats, no bridges, no cannons. He has a people and a promise. And inside the promise is a timetable fear knows nothing about. Fear is fast. It races through rows and tents like sparks in dry straw. Some pray, others accuse. Were there no graves in Egypt? Why bring us here to die? Sarcasm blooms when panic can't find tears. Memory gilds the past. At least there we knew when we would eat. No one mentions the whip. Fear romanticizes chains when the sea blocks the road. Moses hears the charge and does not debate the wound. He speaks the first of two sentences that hold up this chapter of history. Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord. The Lord will fight for you. You have only to be still. It is a sentence that stops disorder. It puts the heart on pause. It teaches us to look. God, who does not contradict his servant, completes the lesson with the second sentence, the one that converts pause into obedience. Why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to move forward. Look and move. Stillness to see God. Motion to follow God. Moses lifts the staff humble symbol, wood once used just for balance, now points it at the sea. He has no hidden engine. He has the command of an invisible king who rules wind and water. Something happens that grandfathers will retell with wet eyes. The pillar that stood in front moves to the back. The presence that led now stands between Egypt and Israel, like a living wall. Toward the Hebrew side, the night glows with enough clarity to see hands and tie cords. Toward the Egyptian side, a heavy darkness falls like a soaked blanket. Chariots lose depth. Signals blur. Two camps exist in the same night, but not in the same light. The armed past collides with a border it cannot explain. It can hear children's laughter far away and cannot close the distance. It can remember drill commands and cannot make the air obey. God separates them. Protection is not a mood. It is a fact. There is something between you and what is chasing you. And while the presence holds the peoples back, the wind begins its work. All night, a strong east wind rises on mission. It does not blow at random. Drives back the waters, tenses them, stacks them where they never learned to stay. Family heads who first thought of throwing up sand defenses now look toward the sea and sea lines. The surface shifts, the skin of the water opens. It isn't a trick of light, 'tis the beginning of a road. Moses stretches out his hand. The sea obeys. Two liquid walls stand up as if remembering an ancient order, to here and no farther. Between them, dry ground. Not passable mud, walkable earth. Torches flare, doubts dim, someone tests with a foot and the ground holds. The first step, and the second. Mothers tighten shawls, fathers balance loads. Elders smile like farmers seeing rain in a drought. The people enter. They do not walk around, they walk through. On the right, the water holds, a glass pane stretched by another's hand. The left, the same. Fish peer out, confused by faces where there has always been afternoon. Children reach toward the wall and feel coolness without wetness. There is silence. There are hymns that have not yet been written. The road is long. It does not cross a stream. It traverses a sea. Tribe by tribe, tent by tent, they pass. Time turns into obedience, step after step until an entire nation lays footprints upon a liquid memory God taught to be a floor. Behind them, the pillar keeps iron at bay. Before them, the breeze sustains the architecture of the miracle. Between, only one thing is asked: keep going. There are no theological lectures, there is walking. There are no leadership theories, there is trust. The sound is peculiar, not splashing, but the scuff of sandals on ground that yesterday belonged to currents. Freedom learns its new grammar. Advance when God opens. No pride stays still when it sees another find a way. Egypt enters. Chariots and horses plunge onto the dry band as if it belonged to them. Human confidence in the inertia of its strength drives them. Captains shout orders that the water walls neither respect nor fear. For a moment, the thunder of machinery seems ready to swallow the faith of a people on foot. But the God who makes roads also fights within them. From the pillar, the Lord looks on the Egyptian camp and throws them into confusion. There is no need to smash the watery walls. He touches wheels, they jam. The iron that made the slave driver proud becomes an anchor. The strongest hands taste helplessness. There, in the water hall, the most bitter and truest sentence breaks out from mouths that swore never to yield: let us flee. The Lord fights for them. That confession could have been spoken in a quiet palace, beard still and door open. Instead, it is shouted in the corridor of judgment, water at the sides and sand giving way. Knowledge arrived. Wisdom did not. Because wisdom is not merely knowing who is right, it is choosing when to yield. And the when has passed. The last group of Israel steps onto firm ground. Moses stretches out his hand again. Dawn, the wind finishes its shift. The sea returns to its strength. There is no ceremony. There is fact. The walls drop with obedience completed. The hallway becomes ocean again. Chariots try to reverse, but you cannot run backward in a time God has already closed. Waters cover horses, riders, and shouts. The shore does what shores do. It gives back bodies that did not learn in time who commands the water. On Israel's side, there is no instant loud celebration. There is awe. The people see. They see Egyptians on the shore. They see the wet band where a road had been. Above all, they see the hand of the Lord. The old fear, the one with a king's name, yields to a new fear. Reverence for the one who has shown power to liberate and to judge. They believe in the Lord and in his servant, not because they have memorized a creed, but because they have just walked it. They breathe differently now. Not the air of fugitives who got lucky. The air of witnesses, where yesterday a question stood, what now? Today, there is a starting point. God leads, God separates, God fights, God opens. And when God closes, no one opens. What does this night teach? That the presence of God is not a charm for the neck, but living leadership that moves and commands. That faith knows how to be still to look and how to move to obey. That the past will pursue, yes, but cannot pass the pillar God plants between your old name and your new one. That seas are not barriers when the order is forward and grace lays the floor. At morning, the pillar is still there. Cloud honest in the day, fire honest in the night. On this beach, a language Israel did not know begins the language of song. Voice meets memory, and a melody rises that generations will repeat. I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. Horse and rider he is thrown into the sea. That refrain is not vengeance, it is grateful justice. It is not arrogance, 'tis humility that recognizes the hand that opened the way deserves the song. There will be desserts, there will be hunger and bitter water, father-in-law council and new organization, a mountain that smokes and words graven in stone. But today, on this sand still damp, the people learn 4 truths that can carry any journey. God leads. God separates, God fights, God finishes what he begins. And they learn a practice that keeps faith alive, remembering by singing. The song is a bridge between last night's fright and tomorrow's obedience. If today you find yourself between an army and a sea, lift your eyes. Watch the pillar. Listen for the wind. And when the voice that leads says forward, take the first step. You will not be asked to understand everything. You will be asked to walk where he has opened. And when you cross, look back with reverence, not nostalgia. Nostalgia sighs for Egypt. Reverence learns the song. Thank you for opening this scroll with me on Open Scrolls. May the God who led by cloud and by fire, who opened a road through the sea and closed it upon arrogance, guide your steps, and may your table like Israel's tents that morning. Fill with grateful memory and simple songs that say what the heart has finally learned to believe.